Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to go over my YouTube setup that I use to record my videos. I'll be going over the camera I use, the lighting, microphone, and some of the settings I use to make the quality of the videos that I do. And before I go any further, I just want to say that I don't want any of you guys to feel obligated to purchase any of this equipment. As a matter of fact, a lot of the videos I'm going to be making is actually on my cell phone, my iPhone, to demonstrate the equipment I have. And many of the YouTubers that I follow that have amassed a great following shoot strictly on their iPhone. So if this is something that you feel like would benefit you and your channel, or it's something you want to experiment with to upgrade the level of production, then this video will be very helpful. I'll post timestamps here. And once again, my name is Manny Rataul, and if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel if you like the content you see. Now, the camera that I use to shoot all my YouTube videos is a Sony a6400, and I'm currently talking to it right now, so it's a bit difficult for me to show you guys what it looks like. So I'm going to switch over to first person mode and show you firsthand with my iPhone how my setup looks. Okay, switching to first person mode, this is the a6400. Now, I've been using this camera to shoot all of my videos. It's a phenomenal camera, and I've been using the standard kit lens that comes with the camera to shoot all the videos. It's very versatile. It has optical image stabilization built in, and for the most part, if you're just shooting videos like me where everything is still, you're not moving, this is the perfect lens for starters. Now, the camera is actually quite small. Just to give you an idea, this is my hand. And as you can see, my hand just completely covers the camera. So it's a very grab and go type of camera to just lug around and set up anywhere. And the best part about the a6400, and most people use it for YouTube, is this flip out screen. Now, this flip out screen is the viewfinder, so I can see exactly what you'll see in the final product, and I don't have to worry about setting this up to an external monitor to see if I'm in focus. So you can pretty much grab this camera and set it up wherever you want and shoot videos on the go. Now, this camera is set up on a tripod, basic Amazon tripod, nothing special about it, and it sits on top of my desk. And this pretty much all my YouTube videos have been shot like this. Now, the other cool thing about this camera is it allows an input for an external microphone. This is one of the external microphones I use, and it just mounts onto the a6400 right here. If I turn this around, you can actuate this screen. Very versatile. Now, in addition to this lens, I also use this Sigma 30mm kit lens. Now, this has a very small aperture of 1.4, so that gives me this bokeh effect when I shoot my videos. A lot of my B-roll is shot with that, and this simply goes right here where this kit lens is. You can actually take it off by pressing this button here, and I mount this on. So these are two lenses I currently use with the 6400. Before we get into the camera gear, I just want to talk to you guys about Envato Elements. Envato Elements is an online marketplace where there are millions of stock videos, photos, and animations ready to be used by content creators like yourself, with licenses provided, so you don't have to worry about copyright issues. I personally use Envato Elements and have a premium account. My recent trip to Portugal, that drone footage that you saw in the vlog, that was all from Envato. Saved me a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I didn't have to capture any of that video myself. Right now, Envato offers a 30% discount and a 7-day free trial, so I highly recommend it. Check it out. Okay guys, next I want to talk about the audio and the microphones, and before I go any further, I'm going to show you a set of two videos, video A and video B, and I want you to tell me which sounds better. Testing 1 2 3, this is video A. Testing 1 2 3, this is video A. Testing 1 2 3, this is video B. Testing 1 2 3, this is video B. Okay guys, if you selected video B, it's because I'm using an external microphone in addition to the video I'm shooting with the a6400. Now, the assumption and the mistakes that most people make is that they assume that the audio is just as good as the video of the camera, and it's simply not true no matter how expensive the camera you get. I use an external microphone. It's a Studio Fifine USB mic. I record everything on my computer, and then I sync the audio in post with the inbuilt audio on the a6400. I'll actually make a very quick tutorial on how this is done, but that ensures that the video quality also matches the audio quality. And the audio is unfortunately something that most people overlook. And in my opinion, I'd rather have good quality and poor video quality than great video quality and poor audio. It just doesn't go well together. Now guys, if you want a little more versatility with your microphone, I also use this Deity V4 mic that plugs directly into the a6400. This allows me to just shoot the video, and the audio track is automatically synced with the video track. That means I don't have to do any synchronization in post. It's also a great microphone if you plan on vlogging with the a6400 or any camera in that regard. And it actually comes with a dead cat And the dead cat is like a wind muff that blocks out the wind noise, so it's great for outdoor use as well. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is lighting. And lighting is so critical because no matter how expensive and how great the quality of your camera is, if you don't have adequate lighting, your video output is just going to turn out to be poor. Now, what I use for my lighting is my window and the sun. It's free, and it's also probably the best sources of light you can use. And if you orient your setup in a way where you can maximize sunlight, you can get away without spending a single dime. Now, unfortunately, the way I have my loft set up and my YouTube video setup is I get light from the side, but unfortunately I have no light coming in from the right side. So for the right side, I use what you call as an LED filler light. And what this does is it fills in the dark spots on my right side, so it's consistent. If I don't do that, I'm going to demonstrate right now. Half of my face just turns black and I look like a movie villain, and you obviously don't want that. So when you are setting up your camera, like I said, make sure that you set it up in a way where you're maximizing light and you avoid any dark spots. This is going to be great for your video as well, because also when you're shooting video, you want to make sure that your ISO levels are as low as possible. If you're unfamiliar with ISO is pretty much artificial light that the camera makes to compensate for darkness. The issue with this is as you turn up the ISO, you get this grainy effect. And while some people like that in pictures, a grainy video is just not pleasant at all. So optimally, you want to shoot as the lowest ISO setting as possible, and you want to have as much external light to fill in for the camera to get the greatest video output possible. Okay, next I want to talk about camera settings very briefly. No matter what camera you're using, these rules are universal. Number one, make sure that you're shooting at the highest resolution possible and the highest bit rate possible. With the Sony a6400, I can shoot up to 4K, and I shoot all my videos at 4K. Now, whether or not you actually upload in 4K, shooting at the highest resolution keeps the most amount of information, and it gives you the most versatility when you're editing your videos in post. Number two, do not turn up the ISO. Keep the ISO levels as low as possible. Like I mentioned in lighting, the higher the ISO levels go, the grainier your video gets. Use external lighting and keep those ISO levels low for the best quality video. And lastly, pick a frame rate. Frame rate is how many frames the video takes in a single second. Standard video frame rates for most YouTubers is 30 frames per second. If you want to get the cinematic look, and the one I prefer is 24 frames per second. But if you're into action and sports and fast moving images and fast moving objects, you want to shoot at 60 FPS. The one thing I would advise is that while it's very subtle, the changes are very noticeable. So whatever FPS you decide to stick to shoot most of your videos with, keep it consistent and stick with that throughout. I've always shot at 24 FPS, and will continue to always shoot at 24 FPS. But this is where it gives the creator the flexibility and the freedom to sort of express themselves and however they feel. Nothing wrong with whatever frame rate you choose, but be consistent and stick with it throughout your YouTube career. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video that you don't need all this fancy equipment, and the best alternative is honestly just taking out your phone and start recording. At the end of the day, it's the content you make that matters most and not the equipment. So I hope you found this video helpful, and until next time, peace.